You've got two slab rollers to show you here, and I just want to show you these because if you're thinking about buying one, there's a few differences that you should know about. I got lots and lots of little slabs here. I've been playing with this one, which is the one my wife uses, and I haven't really ever used this one very much, but it's pretty good. Now, this is a tabletop model, and what I'm going to do is just show you basically the difference between this one and the static one over here. The first difference, which would have occurred to you straight away, is the price. And I think when we bought this one was about £250, and this one was 4 times as much. This is a pretty good machine, and one of the advantages of this machine is that you don't really need to make any adjustment to the machine itself. Also, it packs down to 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So if you've got a small studio workshop, this is pretty good because it's not going to take up any space. And it's fairly solidly constructed. It's just bent sheet metal, well, bent and welded. Put that on there, and there's a little slot. You can't put the table in the wrong place. There it is, like that. And the capacity of this one, 16 inches, 400 millimeters. Now, did I put that in the right place? No, I didn't. I thought there was something a bit odd there. That's it. My fault. Okay. I suppose I should say that it's useful to have a flat surface to put it on, but actually it doesn't matter that much, because these are more of an infeed table, and they actually give some stability to this central bit. What's in here is 2 rollers like that. I'm going to turn that. There's a gear in here and in there, and they're geared together so that the rollers move in an opposing direction to one another. Now, I'm just going to take this bit of clay here and roll out a slab like that, and then I'll do the same thing in that one over there, so that you can see what the difference is. And I haven't sort of prepared anything here, like I hardly ever do, really. Now, this machine comes with 2 boards like this. And this has got sort of Formica or melamine on one side, and the actual board is made of plywood. Not the best material for the job by any means, because if I show you, oh yeah, there it is. If I show you the other board it came with, it's kind of deteriorated a lot. Now, that's not a big deal. It's cheap enough material. You could get it anywhere, and it really doesn't matter that much, I don't think. And you know, I've got other bits of board anyway, so I'm going to use another bit of that board. But in the meantime, I'm just going to put this one here. And I'm going to put this foam cloth here. Now, I could use a piece of canvas instead of the foam cloth. But not that canvas, because that canvas something odd has happened to it. So here's a bit of canvas I could use instead. So I could put this piece of clay inside the canvas, so I bend it over like that. But I'm going to use this black stuff. I only just started using this a few days ago. Charlotte's been using it for a while now, and she thinks it's better than the canvas, so she's got it for me. But that's actually specific to what we're doing, because we make tiles. We're really printing the tiles in these machines, so we're also printing the canvas, and this doesn't leave any impression on the work at all. So there is that to bear in mind when you're choosing a medium to put either side of the clay. Okay, so all this is here is an extrusion from the pug mill. I've cut it in two down its length, and I'm just going to roll it out into a slab. Now watch this. I'm going to hang on to that a bit, and that's getting squeezed. I'll bring it back again. See the way it pulls it through? I didn't really have to do anything except turn the handle. And there we are, turn that into a little slab. Now what I want to do is I want to put it that way in the machine like that, bend the material around it again, and now I'm going to make it thinner by pushing it down that way. Well, that means I've got to put another board on it. Now this board is going to take up more space in the gap between the two rollers, so it's going to squeeze the clay more. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we get the difference in thickness on this machine. We don't alter the roller in any way. The two rollers, they stay fixed. They've got a gear here, two gears acting against one another. You can't alter the distance between the two rollers. It is fixed. Well, that makes things quite easy in many ways, because if you're producing things at a variety of different thicknesses, all you've got to do is find a variety of different boards that give you that result in the end, and then mark them with a felt tip pen, and you know which ones you need when it comes to producing whatever thickness you're looking for. Okay, so now I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to roll that. So it is sort of prone to moving around a little bit. It's a pretty lightweight thing, but it doesn't distort in any way. So anyway, back we go, and we'll take that one out, have a look and see what we got. Well, there we are. We got a bigger slab in that. I pushed it back in that direction again. That's easy enough. I mean, anyone can work that one out. So that's it. So that is that one there, and I'll put that with its board out of the way there so we can have a look. Now then, this machine over here, do I need to move the camera? Yeah, I do really. I'll just put the camera over here a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll do. Now this one stands on its own, and I'm gonna just move this one out of the way so it isn't distracting us. Now this one here has a bigger capacity, so if we go back, the other one was 16 inches, wasn't it? So this one here, the roller on this one is 20 inches. Or half a metre, yeah, 500 mil, and I've got adjustment on this one, and also I can move the wheel. So I can't demonstrate this now because the wheel's on this side of the machine, but can you see the whole carriage here moves up and down the work? So rather than have the work move through the roller's moving over the work on this one. Now, that does change things a bit. Let me just release the wheel here, which is just a 13mm machine screw, and I'll take that off, and I'm going to put it on the other side, which has got an identical, it's got a key in it, so all I've got to do is locate the key here, and put the wheel on. That's it. Well, typical, I mean, that took me about 10 seconds when I did it yesterday. But I've had it sort of organised like this so I could demonstrate it. And then I found that I was walking around the machine all the time, so I moved the wheel back to where it had been. But it didn't stop me moving around the machine, of course. So there we are, look, I've now got the wheel on the other side. Well, there is an advantage to that. And I've got an option. Now this obviously takes up a lot more space. I've got that, which I'm going to roll like I rolled the last one. And I got another piece of this here. So I'm going to roll it in the same way here. But I have actually fixed that roller in one place because I've got to make a whole series of tiles, and the adjustment screws that the machine came with are just like that. Well, there isn't enough physical advantage in that. It needs to be bigger. It needs to have a bar through it, really, so that you can lock this up, because the adjustment on this wheel is controlled by this, and this goes up and down, then you've got to lock it off. Now, if you're doing a lot of stuff, this is great, it's terrific, but if you're having to change it all the time, and you're doing several different things, then it's actually more complicated than the other one. But anyway, I'm going to roll it that way and take it back. Now the cloths on this machine here are fixed at that end. I'll just show you that after I've rolled it in the other direction. So I got that now, and I'm going to put it in here. It's not going to help me because I'm not changing, I'm not putting a board in there, and I'm not changing this roller up and down. I can, but I'm not going to, because I've got it roughly where I want it. I'm just going to see if I can get it a little bit more even. Now, this here, if I undo these wing nuts here and I remove this bar, it's going to release this top canvas. And I've got this machine with two sets of canvases, and you'll be able to see immediately why if I show you the other ones, because we use two different kinds of clay. So, you know, we can't mix them. This is terracotta, for use with terracotta, and terracotta's terrible material if you're using anything else in the workshop, because the small short canvases of which we seem to have an awful lot here, I mean, look at them. You know, these have been used again and again, and if you're using them with terracotta, that's fine, but if you're going to use that with white clay, it's going to mark the clay, and you will never get that mark out of the white clay. We don't want it in there because we're doing quite precise work with the tiles, and you know, we want to be able to control what colour the tiles are, and you know, we don't need the contamination from the terracotta. Okay, so yeah, we've got the same thing there. Now, I have got to carry out a modification on this machine because those screws, like the little knurled melamine handled screws that I just showed you, that are locking this in place, they are a nuisance, and what I've got to do at the moment is just use a 3/8 inch wrench on these flanged screws, hex head bolts here, machine screws there. I've undone it now, and I can wind this down or further up to make the gap bigger. So I've got quite a lot more adjustable capacity on this machine than I have on the little one, and yeah, I prefer to use this. It's a stable machine, and very solid, and it works on a rack and pinion, the rack being bicycle chain and the pinion being a sprocket that engages on the chain. So you got here a pretty substantial piece of gear. The capacity is bigger on this one, and you know, it's just more solid kind of arrangement really altogether, and we do use this a lot. Now, what else do I need to tell you? I think actually a lot of it comes down to cost, and it comes down to space, and it comes down to adaptability. I think for the printing of the tiles, it doesn't actually make that much difference, but that's a really specialised thing, and I don't think that's going to be of a great deal of interest to many people because there's virtually nobody else doing that. Most people are simply trying to produce a section of clay that they can then cut, modify, and fabricate to make up whatever it is that they happen to be doing. And I know a lot of people do have slab rollers, and most potteries have got them, and you may not want a big thing stuck out in the workshop all the time, but we do. And we have other ways of producing sections of material as well, like we have a very large pug mill that extrudes sections of clay. I'm going to show you that before too long. Yeah, so you know, this is really essential bit of kit for our operation, and it's actually works out more convenient for us to have this stood here in the middle of the workshop than it does to have something that's knocked down and then reassembled on the bench every now and again, which means, you know, it's taking up space on the bench, and the bench is pretty big, but it's not that big, and I can show you that it's usually got plenty of stuff on it. So, you know, that's the difference. Anyway, listen, if you have got any questions about these machines, and you want to know anything further about them, put it in the comments section, because I always do look at that. Not many people do comment. It'd be nice if you did, and it'd also be nice if you subscribed and like the channel, because it puts it out there a little bit more, and it doesn't cost anything, it's free. And all we're trying to do really is just give you a bit of information and share what we know, you know, it helps. Sort of what goes around comes around, doesn't it? And so like and subscribe, guys, and join us in the next video. I hope you found that useful.